Yeah, that is where he likes to sit.
Rain's all done over there, I think. You gotta get on that Facebook, huh?
My landlord just came back from
I have Florida.
So Jessica's off today or something?
He's got her. I'm sure she'll be back next week.
Yeah.
I think she had a.
Onion?
supplemental agenda.
Yeah, you can get one.
Was there a regular agenda for this meeting?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, those are.
Okay, I didn't.
You can read off of that for now. I'll share.
Oh, pretty much
There's
again.
an extra one.
Okay.
Actually, I have two.
Okay, this clock is slow.
Yeah, it is. It's past. I turned mine off at 1 minute. You're good.
Okay, let's call the meeting to order. Took the roll. Alderman Rowe.
There was a misprint and Ann corrected us. Move for approval of the minutes from the October 27th meeting and the November 3rd meeting of 2015.
27th, you said? It should be
October 27th and November 3rd, not 11th.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we have the summons and complaint for sale in is Daniel Wiley. Can we have a seat? Did you get a copy of the summons and complaint?
Yeah, I don't know why you just didn't send it or come to my building. There was no letter. Nobody sent me a letter, except the person which I called and said I couldn't make it.
Okay, well, my understanding was that you didn't want to pay the money and you didn't want to get a license.
No, here's the thing, I told him, I never applied for the license to start off with, because and then they called me and said I had to apply. I said, I'm closing, I'm selling it, I gotta get it cleaned out, I can't run the bar and get everything together and get it out. He says, well, you still have to file. Came down, got a new application, filed, paid a $25 something plus a late fee. I don't
Well,
know.
isn't it more than
It's
that?
like $500.
Yeah, that's a lot more money than
Yeah.
25.
No, that's what they said, an extension. I said, I explained to the clerk, that's all I was gonna do is get out of the bar. I'm gonna
Right.
sell it. I don't want it. I don't wanna lease it. I don't wanna do nothing. I wanna get out of it.
You want to sell the bar with the license. You
Well,
want to sell it as a bar.
I was always under the impression that license to have the right to sell liquor stayed with the building.
Well, but the point is,
I
in
don't
order,
want a
in
licensed
order for
person.
there to be a license for you to sell with the business, you need to renew that license.
I thought the bar had the license. Oh, as far as I always remembered, that location's been for over 60 years.
Yes, and
there's
someone
been
apparently continuously kept it licensed.
They didn't for a year and a half, over. I know that at times.
Well,
But-
then maybe an error was made or something.
I don't- okay.
But you can't just, because if you don't renew that license will disappear. And then when you want to sell it as a bar,
I thought just the selling of the liquor license. But the license to be able to sell liquor at that location stayed with the building until it changed.
No, it's,
but if
Well,
you
when-
don't
when
renew
did
the
that all
license,
change?
if you don't pay to renew the license, regardless of whether you open, that license will go away. And if you want, maybe you want to sell the building and make it a beauty salon. I don't know.
No, I don't care what anybody wants to do with
Okay,
it,
but
you know, that I don't
the,
care.
The point is, I stand.
I just
Correct
don't
me if I'm
wanna lease
wrong.
it.
If you want to sell the business to someone potentially, the building with the business and some furnishings included, and they want to operate as a bar, it's probably in your best interest to pay and renew the license, even if you're not going to open up. I'm not your lawyer.
Okay, well, I
Well,
guess that's what I gotta do, I guess, because I don't wanna say.
because it's got
I
more
don't
value
know
of a
any-
bar than
It's got more value.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Bars-
well, maybe it
bars
doesn't,
are not a
maybe,
big-
maybe it doesn't,
No.
I don't know.
No, bars is not a big thing anymore, I mean, at least not a small
You know,
neighborhood.
if you don't think you're gonna sell it to someone that wants to
Oh, I
operate
see,
as a
that I
bar,
don't know.
Yeah.
That's what, then what did I pay the $25 for? Plus a $100 late fee when I never filed. Why did I pay $125?
Publication and record check fees.
What?
Publication
That's what the
and
$25
record
is
check
for?
fees. Mhm.
And how come we didn't pay for the $500 some dollar fee,
Yeah.
whatever it is
When
for the
you're
liquor license?
renewal, you're only required to pay, to renew it, to get it started, you're only required to pay the publication and record check.
But you owe for the money if you get
But
the
you
license.
still
For the
owe for the
license.
license.
But I explained that I wanted to sell the bar.
Right.
I was not operating it. I don't want any, I want to get out of it. I want to sell the building. And I said, but I want to be able to get it cleaned out. And she
Right.
says, well, that'll be $25
Right.
plus a late fee. So I figure, okay, now this takes care of me till I get the building sold,
Well, it's,
because I am selling it.
right, but the license is totally separate, so.
so
And the
you- I
license
was-
goes, there's always a person's name on the license. And so, obviously that person, whoever had the bar last,
Well-
didn't apply
No,
for the
but-
license.
Yeah.
So, but we have an ordinance that says the owner of the building has, I believe, 60 or 90 days to apply for the license, so the license doesn't lose, I mean, you don't lose the license and.
That's
then you have a
always in
bar.
effect? This
So-
wasn't years ago, couldn't have been,
Yeah.
was it?
Well,
Was this always this way?
always.
Was
It's
it?
been along for a
Okay, so
long
I
time.
guess-
It's been
I
around
guess
for
I
a
gotta
long
pay
time.
the 500, right?
And so, yeah, in order to, it's.
I mean, it seems
sorry.
kinda funny that I'm not gonna operate the business, I still gotta pay, why would,
But there's.
the license ain't
because the
going
license-
anywhere, the
license
building's
goes-
there.
The license goes from,
No, I understand.
July to July and.
June,
uh,
right, June 30th.
June 30th to July.
Yeah.
And so if, you know, at the end of it, it's gone. I mean, and if it's not renewed, it's gone.
Well,
Yeah.
I was all
If-
in.
No,
Full browser?
yeah. If you don't want the license, yet you don't care what's gonna go in there, you don't have to
Oh, yeah,
reapply
but I
for it.
don't know if someone wants it for a bar, so I
Correct.
guess I get, you
And
know, I
that's-
mean,
that's the
if
dice
I
you have
knew
to roll.
that, that would be fine, but I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, that's the dice you have to roll.
You know.
Cause you have to have that license.
So what if that
and able
building
to sell.
doesn't sell by next, July 1st?
You
Then
have
go
it for a
renew
year.
again.
Yeah, then I gotta
Somebody-
renew it again?
However, somebody could complain that it's not opened, and then there'd be a hearing because it's not open. It's the same thing that happened, I'm gonna use the example of yesteryears. They applied for their license, they got the license, and they didn't reopen, somebody complained. And we had a hearing, and due to not being open, we revoked the license, and the license went away.
Scott, what's the
Why,
ordinance?
why
on-
would someone complain if that's the reason?
Because
I'm
they
trying
wanted
to
to go
tell
in
you,
there.
I'm selling it.
Because they wanted to go in there.
Scott, what's the?
Okay, but still, what?
What does the ordinance say on the, if you got the, you gotta be open for, like,
If you're not open for 30 days, you're subject to revocation.
okay. So,
Not automatic, but you're subject to it.
so
So
as
that's
far
what I
as.
told everybody, I am selling the bar, I
Right.
wanna get rid of it,
Right.
it's gonna
I
take
know.
me time to get
I
it
understand.
cleaned.
But you're selling, you
right?
said you're selling the bar, you're not
Well,
selling
well,
the building, so
well, that's
people
what it's
assume
always
it's
been
a
as a bar,
tavern.
so, yeah, I'm selling
Yeah.
the building,
You
let's
need
put
the
it that
license.
But the
way.
license is separate, and you really need the license, I think, to make the bar more valuable. Without a license, it's, like you said.
Well, yeah,
So,
and I
Scott-
don't wanna lease it, I mean, I got people who wanted to lease it, but I don't wanna lease it, I wanna get rid of it.
So what do we, can we just hold this until he pays
Pleasure of
it?
the committee. If you want to hold it, you can hold it.
I think, so you're gonna come in
2
and
weeks?
apply for the license in the next couple of weeks?
Come apply or just pay the 500, I already
Well-
applied, right.
Then pay the 500.
Okay,
It's
give me a
different
couple weeks,
application
all
you
right.
have to fill out, correct?
Yeah.
And he has the application already
Oh.
in process.
Okay, so you guys gotta come in and pay that.
Well, I guess so, I guess
So we're
that's what
gonna
I
hold
have
this
to do.
December 1st?
We're gonna hold a summons complaint, yeah, until
Is that
our,
our next meeting?
Next meeting's December 1st.
Oh, okay.
okay. And, okay, so just come in and apply, and then this'll go away.
He's already applied, he just has to
I
write
already
check.
applied.
Right.
Pay for himself.
Okay, thank you kindly.
Heather
It's Pica.
Pica.
You're on the pronunciation.
It's a simple one too, but it
It's just 5 letters, but it's, there's a J that screws it all up.
Okay, let's see, this is for a new bartender's license. Dickens, huh? Okay, got 2 OWIs. Just a second.
Mr. Chairman?
Alderman Barzal.
Looking at the, there's one on 1507, There's another one on 2107. Is that also like what they did there, same offense? Is that the same offense? Milwaukee County?
How many drunk driving convictions do you have?
2.
That's probably
Yeah,
the same one.
you're asking is
Yeah, 'cause
this,
I have
and is
three.
this
Yeah,
the
I have
same
this one, this one,
I'm
and
thinking,
this one.
no,
Right.
because
Mr.
one's
Chair, if I
Milwaukee
could.
Alderman
County,
Weigel?
the other is, EW.
The problem we have with people, especially with multiple drunk driving, when you're bartending, there's gonna be opportunity, I shouldn't say opportunities, there'll be occasions where you're gonna have to make a decision for your customer on whether they're gonna have another drink. So, at least on 2 occasions, you made a bad choice for yourself personally, and it kinda puts a bad light on you as far as our trust in you as a bartender.
Sure.
Most oftentimes, if you had, say, 3, it's very likely we wouldn't even be having this conversation. We'd be just saying, you know, we're gonna vote to deny based on your record. These 2 occasions, could you give us a little bit of the background? What was there personal injury involved, or how these come about?
Sure. The first one, I was driving with my girlfriend, and was giving me directions and told me to go the wrong way, and that's how that happened. There was
So you're driving down a one-way street the wrong
no.
way?
I
or-
was driving, stopped at a stoplight, and then went to go turn. And as I was turning, I thought it was a one-way street going.
Okay.
Um,
So there wasn't an accident
No,
or an
no,
injury?
no, no, no. I pulled right over. I was unfamiliar with the area, so I didn't know that that's how that went. The second one, there was an accident. I was the only one involved. There was no long-term physical damage. I didn't break anything. And I went through the classes, like the AA classes.
All the court
and
ordered
everything.
stuff?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And completed that back in May of 2013.
Okay. And on both these occasions, have you bartended somewhere else before? or-
I've bartended, yes, before when I was 21.
Okay, so
Yeah.
like 2 years ago.
No, I just turned 30 on Saturday,
I
so
got it.
it was a while ago.
I guess I'm trying to get at these occasions when you've been arrested for drunk driving. You weren't bartending at the time?
No,
You were coming
gosh,
from
no.
a party, or I mean, what was?
The first one, I had come, we had just gone out and gone to Milwaukee. I had lived in Michigan at the time, so second one, I lived in Greenfield, but wasn't familiar with that part of Milwaukee. The second one, I had just celebrated a Packer win and got a little too excited.
Must have been a while ago.
Yeah.
At least 3 weeks.
At least 4
So,
weeks.
you understand our concern.
Of
Is that
course, yes.
We're gonna give you a license to put you behind the bar in West Dallas, and we expect you to be, if you get this license, we expect you to be making that decision for your customers. You know, say, you know, you probably had enough, you want some coffee or some soda. Sometimes the customer walk in the door and you have to make a decision right away. They might have been somewhere else. They might have been celebrating a Packer win somewhere else, you know, walking in. But, and when there is a problem, we'd expect you to call the police, and be helpful. You know, I don't think we have, Dickens is awful quiet, isn't it, as far as the police
Yeah.
are concerned?
Yeah, there's never.
There's never any problems there. And you live right in the neighborhood there?
I live right next door,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'll
was
be
looking at
walking.
the address.
right
So-
downstairs.
And just to be warned, if you get a third one, you know, we might call you in here and begin the process of taking away your bartending license.
I completely understand.
Yeah, so,
Do I have a
Mr. Chair?
motion? So, Alderman Rowe.
Alderman Haas and Captain Waddell, did you come up with 2 or 3?
It's 2.
Okay, because
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Good luck.
Thanks,
so
guys.
this
I
will go to the
appreciate
council later this evening, and it'll pass the council.
Okay.
And then the license will be available for pickup tomorrow at between, like, say, 10 and 2 in the clerk's office. If you don't pick it up, then they will mail it to your address.
Same exact thing.
it. Fantastic.
Almost like you work here.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
Hey, we got a meeting at 7.
Stephen Denahue? Dano?
Dano.
No.
And then he.
It's fine.
Dano?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, once again, new license.
Yeah, I'll go
Buffalo
there.
Wild Wings. Once again, you get 2.
I won't take it.
Also, you heard everything that we had said?
Yes, sir.
Does your employer know that you have 2?
Yes, sir.
See, what can I say?
I think you heard the lecture.
Yeah.
We don't have to give it
That
over.
wasn't a lecture, I think I did that very
No, I
nicely.
think you actually did it pretty
You
good.
did real
I agree.
absolutely.
Move for approval.
Second.
It's moved in second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thanks, sir. Good luck. Thank you.
Michelle Drury.
Yeah.
I'm sure I got that one right.
You got that one.
You did.
Pretty
You
easy
did.
one.
Hang on.
Michelle?
Maybe sure so.
Yeah.
Stephen
Unwritten.
McClintock?
Pretty consistent.
Macintosh.
Kinda like the computer.
Like the apple.
Okay, this is for bartender's license.
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Weigel. New
Stephen,
license.
you didn't put down where you're gonna work. Do you have any idea?
Flappers.
At Flappers?
Yep.
Okay. And, you know, there's a couple things in your history here that are a little concerning to
Yep.
us. Just this year, procure, for, sell, dispense alcohol to an underage person.
Correct.
That was here in West Dallas?
That was at Flappers.
So you were working at Flappers?
Correct.
Without a license, but there was a licensed bartender there?
Correct.
And you actually made the sale?
Apparently so. It was a funny situation. It was on a Monday night. Whatever happened, happened. I got a call Wednesday from the,
Oh, so this is a
West-
sting?
We
This
were
is a
doing
West
our
Dallas
sting.
pretty
sting?
much, yeah.
Okay.
Call Wednesday,
Yeah.
tell me where to send the ticket, blah, 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 blah.
And then you have some THC things from a couple years ago. You know, the one is New Berlin, Municipal Court, there was paraphernalia. Was it, what kind of amounts we're not talking about?
Very, very small. I mean.
Personal use?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, is this something you still do, or?
No.
Okay, 'cause that's one of our concerns. Is-
Absolutely. Yeah. I've grown up a little bit since then.
No.
Did you get here today?
My girlfriend.
Mr. Chair, also?
Alderman Weigel?
You have a regular job, full-time job?
Yep,
Is-
yep.
Where do you work?
Day job. It's on the north side of Milwaukee. It's called Olympic Supply Company.
Sure.
I basically run a wheel building department for bicycles.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Not second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good luck with that.
Erica Hurd? Is this the second time?
Yes.
This is the second time?
Move for denial based on 2 non-appearances.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Do we wanna hold this till halftime, or no? Not really?
Criminal
I don't-
history.
Okay.
I can certainly withdraw.
Yeah.
And history is if this type of license, if they don't show up, they don't work there anymore.
Okay.
Usually they don't work out.
Okay, is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Not gonna touch that one either.
Okay, then we
Yeah,
have,
you could have fun with that,
Mhm.
but yeah.
Dan.
Who just
Dan
walked
walked
in.
in just
I
now.
just said.
Perfect
he's not here.
timing.
I remember seeing him.
So the,
Okay, so you're causing trouble someplace else, that's my understanding.
it was,
Can be done.
the same bartender. I checked all the dates on our schedule and I terminated her because she was bringing in the wrong crowd. She was let go. After I got the letter, I took a day or two to investigate the entire, talked to some neighbors and other employees and patrons, and they all said that she was the trouble in the bar. So she's gone. She's been gone. It's been quiet ever since. So
You're running the whole bar now?
yeah.
Well, you know, I can't say anything that we haven't already said to you in the past at the other places.
That's been quiet since,
Right.
she's definitely was the problem, there's no question about it, so she's been gone for 2.5 weeks since I got the letter.
Okay. Anybody have anything else?
Move to place on file.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Have a nice rainy night.
Thank you.
Discussion regarding Class B beer and wine license? not yet issued.
Ricky Sargent, completed all of his requirements and was given his license. And, Vanny's Kitchen called today and they're in the process of finishing up their inspections.
Okay.
Those are the only two still outstanding.
Oh, okay.
I think they're right here.
So, Manny's is not open now, is it?
I don't
I
know.
don't think- I don't think- Okay, so, do we wanna hold this until he gets his inspections done, or do we wanna place this on file?
Mr. Chair?
Or when?
Did Vanny's say they
hold
did
it.
some remodeling?
Is he the mobile dealer?
And,
Or
Yeah.
the gas station?
and they're just, I mean, we could clearly expect our inspectors to get there within the next 2 weeks, right? Before the next meeting?
Correct.
Yeah.
I'd hold that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, till
Yeah, let's
December
hold it for
first.
December first.
Correct,
Yeah.
agreed. We can take Rick's and place his on file.
Yeah.
But can we do them partial?
Well, it's just. a
Well, the
discussion.
matter is there, I mean, you're,
It's just a
you're done
discussion.
with sergeants, so
Right.
you just, but you hold this matter, and you
Yeah.
know, it's just.
Okay,
for-
hold the matter and,
Wow.
and call back in. If he's not completed, let's call him back in on December first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then we have, let's see, I think the-
Supplemental, and I don't have it.
just- well, I got two supplementals, so. I'll give you
Good,
that.
then I'll have one. Thank you,
And your carriers.
because you don't have one either.
Okay, we have a communication. Does, Charlene Hart, attorney, wanna come up front?
If we could just hold off for just a couple minutes, we're still kind of discussing some things with counsel for Ms. Watkins. If the committee would allow that,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
thank you.
Are we gonna need to go into closed session on this? Does anybody think so? or-
Yes?
Well, you do it after you
After we talk to.
talk to them.
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah,
Something
I
else.
just can't ask any questions.
that's if you want to.
And you got the record check over?
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I
I'm
distributed.
sorry, I forgot to get that to you.
No,
yesterday
that's
as well.
okay.
Mr. Chair, can we discuss the record check matter right now? We can do that, right? Cause that record check, it wasn't the normal thing we usually get, Barry, and it was like a teletype thing. Have you seen it?
Correct, yeah, I had.
And it lists, the beginning of, there's a whole bunch of aliases listed.
Yeah, not.
That's unrelated to the subject of the record.
Correct.
check.
Mhm.
Okay, that's just,
Yeah, and there's just the one record noted
Okay.
on there that was on yours.
I'm looking at this, it's like, it's not our normal format, and I see all these variations on a theme here on a name.
The only issues were there's some very recent changes in state DLs. Wisconsin was moved out of state to Illinois, and then now just recently in the dates on there, I updated it to when you moved from Indiana back to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So there, I mean, literally, I would think it was what was the date on there? I don't think I
Like the
have it.
11th or something?
11.
Yeah,
Yes,
11.
so.
Yeah. And how does that doesn't impact anything on the license, they have to live here
I don't have it.
60 days or something?
Yeah,
DL
they
license,
emailed it
that
to us,
picture.
but you couldn't read it. I
Oh.
couldn't read it over the email.
Is it
Liquor
this is the new
license,
person coming
You have to
in?
be
That's
a
the new
resident
person.
of the
This is the
state
new
of
person
Wisconsin
coming
for a
in.
period of time?
Which we
I
don't.
see, you remember something like that.
Yeah, that vaguely rings a bell too.
Yeah, we had a guy
Yes.
recently with an Illinois. driver's
Illinois
license.
and,
Right.
Assistant
we denied them. We
Attorney
never got
Martin
back
made
to us.
a point of that,
Yeah,
that
I don't know.
there's a
if-
residency
I couldn't read
requirement
that
for
writing.
many of these licenses.
I think it's just for the actual
Battery,
alcohol license
some
itself,
type
not
of
for
battery,
a,
India?
Is it
an
Indiana?
operator.
Is it Indiana or India?
that says
Yeah,
Indiana.
I said, yeah, India.
Looks like
and,
India.
Well, we've got a break, I'll go look it up.
I did see that, I just didn't run a copy.
Oh, this is probably what we got, this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Indiana.
No, you have numbers on it.
No. I didn't do it.
Okay. They yell at me. You wanna put numbers on there, fine.
I can go over this.
Remember that we're still.
Right, I know.
Half hour to go, lots.
Okay, we don't see Michelle Drury here. mean, you know, these are two different subjects though. Correct? I think we're dealing with two different things.
Correct.
Isn't it? This is the letter. Has everybody got the letter from the attorney?
No,
You
didn't
don't have the letter?
didn't get any of that.
I accidentally.
I did.
You probably got it on,
Email came.
yeah, email.
I'm talking about the buyer.
Or there's the 80-some pages.
Yes.
Is that all included in there?
That was in there. It was the top of the 80-page
Okay.
document on.
This is from the attorney.
That's all, it's the one page. Or, it's the thing is the copy I made too. Yeah, I think it's the same thing.
Well, whether they're here or not, Scott's not here, I wanted to ask, I think we can still discuss. But I'd rather have Scott here
Right.
before I,
Okay. And we're not gonna wait too long. It should have been taken care of before tonight. Got all this people in here.
See, that's the name you're gonna have to pronounce.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we did Renee Watkins. I could do the Renee Watkins part.
So assuming you're gonna take this one, it's going to be an employee or one spots. She said she's employed with some people. She said she's an employee with some people.
Now we just gotta wait for the city attorney to come back.
All right.
There we go.
okay, now the rest is.
Okay. Wanna come up?
You're spending all the money, you have to do that today.
Well, we're dealing with two different issues here. First of all, it's the issue of Charlene Hart.
Teacher's Corner spot, Charlie.
Right. And you want to, well, I realize you're trying to sell the business, but you're going to surrender the license.
That is our intention, if it is approved by the committee. We would like to sell the business. She won't be operating any longer. Ms. Watkins, the new operator, is here. She has filed an application for her liquor license. If the deal would be certainly contingent on committee's approval of her application, Ms. Hart would be willing to voluntarily surrender her license if the committee would.
So she only wants to surrender her license if we guarantee that we're gonna give a license to the new person.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can guarantee that.
Mr. Chairman,
Alderman Barza.
I'd prefer we go along with the hearing and find out the outcome of the hearing before we act on any type of license exchange. That'd be my preference. I don't know how the other members of the committee feel, but
I'd have to go along with Alderman Barzak on that. I'd like to, there's been a lot of stuff going on there that needs to be addressed and, you know, would like to see the outcome on that.
And our position would be that the new operator, the surrender of the license, would obviate or eliminate any need for that hearing, and any of the problems that the city committee feels were present under Ms. Hart would no longer exist going forward. It would be a way that would be certainly economically beneficial to Ms. Hart, but it would also solve the problems for the city. And there would not be a need for the time and expense of the hearing, et cetera, et cetera.
Mr. Chairman, and again, I just feel that for what went on there, I'd really like to find out from witnesses, et cetera, exactly what went down there and exactly what type of things were happening. I mean, I've read the stuff, but I'd like to hear it, and I'd like to follow through to see what was going on there. I want to hear more before I'm willing to let her walk away scot-free. And just transfer the license and walk away. So me personally, I'd like to see it, I wanna see more. I wanna see the
Mr.
witnesses,
Chairman,
and I'd like to hear,
if I could hear.
I'd like to, find out exactly. So I'd like to go on with the hearing personally, and
And who are you?
I'm Andrew Arena, attorney,
I thought you were familiar.
representing the purchaser. The
Okay,
proposed purchaser who has the application on file.
right,
Um,
right here.
I've not seen the summons and complaint. I understand that there's some concerns. From a practical sense, if you, in chapter 125, and Attorney Post can probably verify this, you can make findings in regards to the individual that don't affect the license, as far as her fitness to hold a license, if that's what you're interested in finding. But in blocking the sale of the business, it's just my perspective, and I always come at this from the standpoint of the person who's about to lose out. I mean, she seems to be a very nice young lady. She seems to have it somewhat together. I don't know what happened, but I do know that she poured all of her money into the place, and if she ends up with nothing out of it, it'd probably be devastating to her. And so, in the interim, we'd like our application to be at least held, and then have the opportunity to have the license available, and have this lady have the opportunity to salvage a little bit of her money out of it. Would be fair. She's not planning on going forward. This is a arm's length transaction that's been negotiated, so she is leaving the business. So that's what I'd want you to know.
thank you.
If I could also say something,
Sure, go ahead.
I would also like to say in relation to him, I know that there are things that you would like to hear from the hearing and find out more facts, but I also would like to state that a lot of those issues that were taking place, I was not in control of the store at that time. It was more or less in the hands of somebody else, and I would just like you to consider that while making this decision, because since I have been there, I have been doing things the correct way and abiding by every inspector that I have had come there, and I would just really like for you to consider that in your decision.
And I would echo Attorney Arena's comments. I know Ms. Hart has put her life savings into getting the store up and running, and it would be devastating for her to be able to be forced to walk away with it without recovering anything from a financial standpoint.
I mean, I did render the consequences of those violations in the summons complaint by losing WIC, by losing EBT, by losing out on sales, by having my alcohol and tobacco confiscated, with the miscommunication of licensing being issued and not granted. But
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Weigel.
having read the summons complaint, are you still facing state or federal charges on the other issues that occurred there?
Not-
Is your former employees facing any charges?
not to my knowledge.
We know that there has been information, investigative reports that have been forwarded to the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office, but no charges are currently being issued. And I don't know
There
what the
is-
status of that may be. Certainly there could be something forthcoming, but it's been a while now. We've had
There's-
contact with their office and no charges.
And then
There
also in your,
is a fine that I do have to pay to the WIC department.
okay, and in your letter, you stated that you personally would no longer have anything to do with the business going forward if
Correct.
the sale went through.
Absolutely.
But what about the previous employees? I mean, you can't speak for them. And I don't know that we can put a restriction on the new license holder, I don't.
She agrees to it.
I mean, she could agree not to hire any of the previous employees that had been there.
Well, if a list is provided of who those people are, she wouldn't hire them. I mean, she's not interested in going.
Just something I wanted to
Yeah.
ask about,
Absolutely.
just so I know.
Right. I definitely have learned firsthand not to entrust anybody with my name on it, and I would just really like for you to consider that all of my life savings has gone into that store and has been taken advantage of by other
parties, and I now am facing the consequences for it, and I would very much so appreciate you to consider this transaction to go through and me not have anything to do with it.
And the store's not currently open,
Correct.
and that's because the electrical
Correct.
issue?
And I have absolutely no intentions of reopening the store. I would like to sell it. I don't want to reopen it, whether I pay the electrical bill or not. I would like to sell the store. I would like to be done with it.
Okay, and how long, you don't own the property,
I do not,
and your lease on the property is,
for the next year, but I have talked to the landlord. She has met with the landlord, and he would be more than happy to relinquish me from my lease and reinstate her a lease pending the transfer of the liquor license.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to, make a motion that we go to closed session.
Well, this, I was just gonna ask you, when I'm gonna go in closed session. Hopefully, okay, please take notice of Licensed Health Committee for the City of West Allis meeting, open session Tuesday, November 17th, approximately 6 p.m. or there soon after, as time permits, in room 128, West Allis City Hall, 7525 West Greenfield Avenue, West Allis, Wisconsin, to vote on a motion to convene in closed session at set time in room 113 to deliberate and confer with the city attorney and subsequent matter concerning Beach's Corner Spot and Charlene Hart, agent in the premises of 2079 South 69th Street, doing business at the Corner Spot, and let's see, liquor license and cigarette license and food-related license. Closed session for the above purpose is authorized pursuant to provisions of Wisconsin State Statutes 19.85, 1 and G, have authorized the governmental body upon motion duly made and carried to meet in closed session. Do I have a motion to go in closed session?
So moved?
second,
Alderman Rote,
Aye.
Alderman Barzak.
Aye.
Alderman Weigel.
aye.
Alderman
Aye.
Haas. And the chair votes aye. We're gonna go in closed session.
You said we're going-